seen the release, but this evening we came to an agreement with the New York Mets to trade A.J. Ramos in return for two prospects, Randy Gonzalez and Ricardo Cespedes.
To speak of that process, we've known AJ's possibility that could move. Talk about, how we came to this.
We've talked about it. When we made the Phelps trade, that we had obviously different designs on how this season was going to go. We felt coming into spring training that this was going to be a competitive team. We felt a playoff team for myriad reasons. We haven't played as well as we would have liked. As you know, we had a very difficult May, which we've had just a tough time coming back from. And then as we got into July, we just looked to see if there'd be opportunities to strengthen, our system. Over the years, our system had been depleted, from a number of trades we made. We felt like started with the Etch deal, where we got value for Etch, and then moved to the Phelps deal, where we felt we got good value for David. And this one's especially tough, just given the history with AJ. He's our guy, drafted, developed, come through our system, watched him, blossom into an all-star closer for us. So to part ways with him, that definitely difficult, but we wished him nothing but the best, and except when he's playing us. And he was a pro as usual.
Dealing within division, obviously, not an issue.
For this one, it was interesting because on the heels of Phelps, there was probably a half dozen clubs that were still in the reliever market. But ultimately, you go where the best players are, and we really like the players we were able to get back for AJ, and I think that's ultimately which took us down this path. We're trying to get better and to add as much talent, as much depth as we can to the system, and we think we've been able to do that with the deals we've made thus far.
What attracted you to these particular guys that you're getting back?
I think we're just looking for the highest end, most quality. When you look at Randy Gonzalez, he's performing with the 2 levels. Started in the Sally League, is down in the Florida State League. Big winner, big stuff. And we like what he can be in the future to help this organization. Similarly with Ricardo Cespedes, younger player, but athletic, tooled up young outfielder. So we were excited to be able to add those 2 to our system.
Mike, would you categorize what direction you guys are going? Is this a rebuild? How do you kind of?
No, I would not say that. I think you're looking, as I've said, you're talking about the reliever market, and this time of year you have an opportunity to get value for guys, more value than you probably could get at any other point during the year. And given where we were at, we feel like we have some depth, bullpen arms that we can give opportunity to and find out how they fit within the organization moving forward.
So who closes?
That will be up to Mr. Mattingly and Juan, and obviously we'll talk. You'll probably see Brad Ziegler return from his rehab assignment, who's been a closer over the years, but we still have to talk it through. But we like the power arms that we still have in our bullpen. Unfortunately, Bear Claw's on the DL right now, but he will be back. Whitgren will be back to add to that mix, and we'll talk and decide which direction we're going to go.
Will Brad Ziegler is he about ready to come off like tomorrow? Or
yeah, I'm giving you guys a transaction early. He'll probably be returned from rehab and reinstated tomorrow.
Mike, you touched on AJ being a big part of this organization for years. Can you talk about that a little bit more, his impact on the organization, leadership, all the things he brought to the clubhouse over the years?
He's just been a pro. And that's one word I think that sums him up best. When you think about, this wasn't a high pick. He wasn't a top draft pick. He was, we took him in the teens, and he's had to work for everything he's accomplished with the Marlins, and that's just a credit to who he is. And you look at him, and he's always prepared, takes great care of himself, and does whatever is asked of him. And he's done that from day one. And I think it's no surprise when he got to the big leagues because he busted his tail to make himself a big leaguer. And then once he got here, he got better every year. And he started off, earlier out of the pen when we got him to the big leagues, and little by little he worked his way back in the pen and assumed the closer role, almost 3 years ago, and has done a great job for us in that role.